Welcome to Storytime with Yee Lin, your friendly neighborhood psychologist and psychedelic sitter. Today you will be listening to Spiritual Warrior, written by Finally Detached. Introduction. In this introductory chapter, we embark on a journey to understand the essence of being a spiritual warrior. We delve into the depths of societal conditioning, recognizing how it shapes our thoughts, actions, and perceptions. This conditioning often leads to conformity, stifling the innate individuality within each of us. But amidst this sea of societal expectations, there exists a call to authenticity, a call to freedom. As we set the stage for our journey, it's crucial to acknowledge the pervasive nature of societal programming. From a young age, we're bombarded with messages that dictate who we should be, how we should act, and what we should believe. These societal norms create a framework within which we navigate our lives, often without questioning their validity. But within each individual lies a spark of rebellion against this conformity, a yearning for something more authentic. This is where the concept of being a spiritual warrior emerges. A spiritual warrior is someone who dares to question the status quo, who refuses to be confined by societal expectations, and who embarks on a journey of self-discovery and liberation. Our journey towards authenticity and freedom begins with the recognition of this inner call. It's a call that beckons us to peel back the layers of conditioning, to unearth the truth that lies beneath the surface. It's a call to awaken from the slumber of conformity and embrace the fullness of our being. As we embark on this journey together, we'll explore the myriad of ways in which societal programming manifests in our lives. We'll uncover the beliefs and norms that have been ingrained within us, often without our conscious awareness. And most importantly, we'll learn how to break free from these shackles and reclaim our sovereignty. But this journey is not for the faint of heart. It requires courage, resilience, and a willingness to confront the uncomfortable truths that lie within. It requires us to question everything we've been taught and to forge our own path, even in the face of opposition. So, let's embark on this journey together. A journey towards authenticity, freedom, and the realization of our true selves. Let us embrace the mantle of the spiritual warrior and march boldly into the unknown, knowing that our quest for truth and liberation will ultimately set us free. But before we proceed, it's essential to understand what it means to be a spiritual warrior. A spiritual warrior is not someone who seeks conflict or battles with others. Instead, they wage a war within themselves, a war against the limiting beliefs, fears, and insecurities that hold them back from living authentically. They strive to embody qualities such as courage, resilience, and compassion as they navigate the complexities of their inner landscape. At its core, being a spiritual warrior is about reclaiming one's power and sovereignty. It's about recognizing that true freedom comes from within and cannot be granted or taken away by external forces. It's about embracing the inherent worthiness and divinity that resides within each of us, regardless of our past experiences or societal labels. As we embark on this journey, we must be willing to question everything we've been taught and to challenge the assumptions that have been imposed on us. We must be willing to confront the uncomfortable truths that lie beneath the surface and to embrace the fullness of our being, flaws and all. But most importantly, we must be willing to trust in the wisdom of our own hearts and to follow the guidance from our inner compass. For it is only by embracing our true selves and living authentically that we can truly embody the spirit of the spiritual warrior and pave the way for a more conscious and compassionate world. Chapter 1: Awakening to the Call. In the hustle and bustle of our daily lives, there often comes a moment when we feel a stirring deep within us, a call to something greater, something more authentic. This is the awakening of the spiritual warrior within us, urging us to break free from the chains of conformity and embrace our true selves. Recognizing the inner call to authenticity is the first step on this transformative journey. It may manifest as a feeling of dissatisfaction with the status quo, a longing for deeper meaning, or a sense of disconnect from the world around us. Whatever form it takes, it serves as a gentle nudge from our inner wisdom, inviting us to explore what lies beyond the confines of societal expectation. As we begin to heed this call, we come face to face with the illusion of societal norms. We start to question the beliefs and values that have been ingrained in us since childhood. Those rules that dictate how we should live, what we should strive for, and who we should aspire to be. We realize that much of what we've been taught is merely a construct, a facade, a mask to our true essence. Embracing the journey of self-discovery is both liberating and daunting. It requires courage to venture into the unknown, to confront the parts of ourselves that we may have long suppressed or ignored. Yet it's also a journey of profound growth and expansion as we uncover layers of our being that have been waiting to be revealed. Along this journey, we may encounter resistance, both from within ourselves and from the world around us. Friends and family may question our choices. Society may label us as rebellious or unconventional. But as spiritual warriors, we learn to embrace these challenges as opportunities for growth. We understand that true authenticity lies not in seeking approval from others, but in following the guidance of our own hearts. In awakening to the call, we embark on a path of self-discovery that leads us closer to our true essence. We learn to trust our intuition, to listen to the whispers of our soul, and in doing so, we discover a sense of purpose and fulfillment that transcends the confines of societal expectations. As we journey deeper into the realm of authenticity, we realize that it is not a destination to be reached, but a way of being, a way of living our lives with integrity, courage, and grace. And so, we embrace the call of the spiritual warrior, knowing that it is our birthright to shine brightly in a world that often seeks to dim our light. Chapter 2: Breaking Free from Conditioning. Societal conditioning is a powerful force that shapes our thoughts, beliefs, and behaviors from a young age. It begins with the subtle messages we receive from family, peers, media, and institutions, gradually shaping our perceptions of ourselves and the world around us. In this chapter, we will delve into the origins of societal conditioning, identify the beliefs that limit personal growth, and explore strategies for breaking free from this pervasive programming. Exploring the origins of societal conditioning. Societal conditioning has its roots in the norms, values, and expectations of the culture in which we are raised. From the moment we're born, we're bombarded with messages about who we should be, how we should act, and what we should aspire to achieve. These messages come from various sources, including family, education, religion, and the media. Family plays a significant role in shaping our early beliefs and behaviors. We learn how to interact with others, express emotions, and perceive ourselves based on the dynamics within our family unit. Parents and caregivers transmit their own values and biases to us, often unconsciously, influencing our worldview and sense of identity. Education further reinforces societal norms and expectations, teaching us to conform to authority, follow rules, and strive for success as defined by academic achievement. Peer groups also play a crucial role in shaping our behavior, as we seek acceptance and validation from our peers, often conforming to societal norms to fit in. Religion and cultural institutions instill specific beliefs and values that guide our moral compass and sense of purpose. Media, including television, movies, and advertising, bombards us with images and messages that shape our perceptions of beauty, success, and happiness, often promoting unrealistic ideals and fostering insecurity and self-doubt. Identifying the beliefs that limit personal growth. Societal conditioning ingrains a multitude of beliefs within us, many of which are limiting and detrimental to our personal growth and well-being. These beliefs often include 1. Belief in scarcity. Society teaches us to compete for limited resources and opportunities, fostering a scarcity mindset that leads to fear, greed, and a sense of lack. 2. Fear of failure. We are conditioned to fear failure and view it as a reflection of our worth rather than an essential part of the learning process. 3. Need for approval. Society conditions us to seek validation and approval from others, leading to people-pleasing behavior and a lack of authenticity. 4. Perfectionism. We are taught to strive for perfection in all areas of life, leading to unrealistic expectations, self-criticism, and burnout. 5. Dichotomous thinking. Society promotes black and white thinking, categorizing people and experiences as either good or bad, right or wrong, leading to judgment, prejudice, and division. These limiting beliefs create barriers to personal growth and fulfillment, preventing us from living authentically and pursuing our passions and dreams. Strategies for breaking free from societal programming. Breaking free from societal conditioning requires conscious awareness and deliberate action. Here are some strategies for reclaiming your autonomy and authenticity. 1. Cultivate self-awareness. Start by examining your beliefs, your values, and behaviors to identify where they originated and how they may be limiting you. Journaling, meditation, and therapy can be helpful tools for increasing self-awareness. 2. Question societal norms. Challenge the beliefs and expectations imposed by society, asking yourself if they align with your values and aspirations. Don't be afraid to question authority, and think critically about the messages you receive from the media, institutions, and culture. 3. Define your own success. Rethink your definition of success. Focus on fulfillment, meaning, and well-being rather than external markers of achievement such as wealth, status, or approval from others. 4. Embrace failure as growth. Shift your perspective on failure, viewing it as a natural and necessary part of the learning process. Embrace challenges and setbacks as opportunities for growth and resilience. 5. Cultivate self-compassion. Practice self-compassion and kindness towards yourself, acknowledging your inherent worthiness and embracing your imperfections with love and acceptance. 6. Set boundaries. Establish healthy boundaries to protect your energy, time, and well-being. Learn to say no to people, activities, and obligations that do not align with your values or contribute to your growth and happiness. 7. Seek alternative perspectives. Expose yourself to diverse viewpoints and experiences that challenge your existing beliefs and broaden your understanding of the world. Engage in open-minded dialogue with others and remain curious and receptive to new ideas. 8. Cultivate authenticity. Embrace your true self and express your unique gifts, passions, and values authentically. Be willing to stand apart from the crowd and live according to your own truth, regardless of societal expectations or judgments. By implementing these strategies, you can begin to break free from societal conditioning and reclaim your authenticity. By implementing these strategies, you can begin to break free from societal conditioning and reclaim your autonomy, authenticity, and personal power. Remember that the journey towards liberation is ongoing and requires courage, perseverance, and self-compassion. Trust your inner wisdom and embrace the path of self-discovery with openness and curiosity. Chapter 3. Embracing radical self-acceptance. In a world bombarded with images of perfection and ideals, the concept of radical self-acceptance can seem like an unattainable oasis in a desert of self-doubt. Yet, it's precisely this radical acceptance of ourselves with all our flaws and imperfections that leads to true inner peace and fulfillment. This chapter explores the profound journey of embracing radical self-acceptance, delving into the practices that cultivate self-love, release, and the need for external validation, and pave the way for embracing one's true self. This chapter explores the profound journey of embracing radical self-acceptance, delving into the practices that cultivate self-love, release the need for external validation, and pave the way for embracing one's true self. Cultivating self-love and self-compassion. At the core of radical self-acceptance lies the practice of self-love and self-compassion. It requires a shift in perspective from self-criticism to self-nurturing, from self-judgment to self-kindness. To cultivate self-love is to treat oneself with the same tenderness and care that one would offer to a beloved friend or family member. Practicing self-love involves acknowledging and embracing all aspects of oneself, the light and the shadow, the strengths and the weaknesses. It means letting go of the belief that one must be flawless to be worthy of love and acceptance. Instead, it entails recognizing that one's inherent worthiness is not contingent upon external achievements or validations. Self-compassion, on the other hand, involves responding to one's own suffering with kindness and understanding. It means holding oneself gently in terms of struggle or pain, rather than harshly criticizing or berating oneself. Self-compassion involves recognizing the shared humanity in our experiences, understanding that imperfection is an inherent part of the human condition. Releasing the need for external validation. One of the greatest barriers to radical self-acceptance is the incessant need for external validation. From a young age, many of us are conditioned to seek approval and validation from others, to conform to societal standards of success, beauty, and worthiness. However, this external validation is often fleeting and unreliable, leaving us feeling empty and unfulfilled. Radical self-acceptance requires a shift away from seeking validation from others and towards finding validation from within. It means recognizing that our worth is not determined by the opinions or judgments of others, but by our own inherent value as human beings. Releasing the need for external validation frees us from the shackles of comparison and competition, allowing us to embrace our unique gifts and talents fully. Practices for embracing one's true self. Embracing one's true self is a journey of self-discovery and self-expression. It requires courage, vulnerability, and a willingness to let go of societal expectations and norms. There are several practices that can support this journey towards authenticity. 1. Self-reflection. Take time to reflect on your values, passions, and desires. What brings you joy and fulfillment? What are your deepest fears and insecurities? Self-reflection allows you to gain clarity about who you are and what matters most to you. 2. Self-expression. Express yourself authentically through creative outlets such as writing, art, music, or dance. Allow yourself to be vulnerable and honest in your expression without fear of judgment or criticism. 3. Self-care. Prioritize self-care practices that nourish your mind, body, and spirit. This may include regular exercise, healthy eating, adequate sleep, and relaxation techniques such as yoga or meditation. Self-care is an essential aspect of self-acceptance as it demonstrates a commitment to nurturing and honoring oneself. 4. Setting boundaries. Establish healthy boundaries in your relationships and commitments. Learn to say no to people and activities that drain your energy or compromise your values. Setting boundaries is a powerful act of self-respect and self-preservation. 5. Cultivating gratitude. Practice gratitude for yourself and your journey. Celebrate your strengths, accomplishments, and progress, no matter how small. Gratitude fosters a sense of appreciation for who you are and what you have to offer the world. In conclusion, embracing radical self-acceptance is a profound and transformative journey that requires courage, compassion, and commitment. By cultivating self-love, releasing the need for external validation, and practicing authenticity, we can reclaim our power and embrace our true selves fully. Radical self-acceptance is not about attaining perfection, but about embracing our inherent worthiness and embracing the fullness of who we are. Chapter 4. Embodying fearlessness. Fear is a primary emotion deeply ingrained within the human psyche. It's an instinctual response to perceived threats, whether they're real or imagined. Understanding the nature of fear is the first step in embodying fearlessness. Understanding the nature of fear. Fear manifests in various forms, from the fear of failure and rejection to the fear of the unknown and the fear of change. It is often fueled by our thoughts and perceptions, creating a sense of limitation and constraint. However, fear is not the enemy to be defeated, but rather a teacher to be embraced. It serves as a signal, alerting us to potential dangers and prompting us to make necessary precautions. Fear can also be a barrier that prevents us from stepping out of our comfort zones and pursuing our dreams. It confines us to a life of mediocrity, holding us back from reaching our full potential. However, by understanding the underlying causes of our fears, we can begin to dismantle their hold over us. Developing the courage in the face of adversity. Courage is not the absence of fear, but the willingness to act in spite of it. It's the ability to confront our fears head on and push past our limitations. Cultivating courage requires us to acknowledge our fears and vulnerabilities without allowing them to dictate our actions. One way to develop courage is through exposure therapy, gradually exposing ourselves to the things that scare us until they lose their power over us. This might involve taking small risks or facing our fears in controlled environments. Each time we confront our fears, we strengthen our courage muscle, making it easier to face future challenges. Another important aspect of developing courage is reframing our perspective on fear. Instead of seeing it as something to be avoided, we can view fear as an opportunity for growth and self-discovery. By embracing fear as a natural part of the human experience, we can learn to harness its energy and to use it to propel us forward. Tools for overcoming fear-based programming. Overcoming fear-based programming requires a combination of self-awareness and conscious effort. One effective tool for breaking free from fear is mindfulness practice. By cultivating present moment awareness, we can observe our thoughts and emotions without becoming attached to them. This allows us to see fear for what it truly is, a passing sensation that does not define us. Another powerful tool for overcoming fear is visualization. By mentally rehearsing By mentally rehearsing challenging situations and imagining ourselves overcoming them with grace and courage, we can rewire our brains to respond differently to fear-inducing stimuli. Visualization helps us to build confidence and resilience, making it easier to face our fears when they arise. Positive affirmations can also be helpful in reprogramming our subconscious mind. By repeating affirmations such as, "I am brave and capable," or "I embrace fear as an opportunity for growth," we can challenge negative beliefs and replace them with more empowering ones. Over time, these affirmations can help to shift our mindset and reduce the grip that fear has on us. In addition to these techniques, surrounding ourselves with supportive and courageous individuals can provide valuable encouragement and inspiration. By seeking out role models who have overcome their own fears and achieved success, we can learn from their experiences and gain confidence in our own abilities. In conclusion, embodying fearlessness is not about being fearless in the traditional sense, but rather about developing the courage to confront our fears and pursue our dreams in spite of them. By understanding the nature of fear, cultivating courage, and using tools to overcome fear-based programming, we can break free from the limitations that hold us back and create a life of purpose and fulfillment. Chapter 5: Cultivating Inner Strength. In the journey towards becoming a spiritual warrior, cultivating inner strength is paramount. Life is filled with challenges, obstacles, and unexpected twists, but it is our inner resilience that allows us to navigate through them with grace and determination. In this chapter, we explore the ways in which we can nurture resilience, harness the power of mindfulness and meditation, and build emotional, mental fortitude to become unstoppable forces of authenticity and purpose. Nurturing resilience in challenging times. Resilience is the ability to bounce back from adversity, to adapt and grow stronger in the face of life's challenges. It's not about avoiding difficult situations or denying their impact, but rather about facing them head-on with courage and perseverance. To nurture resilience, we must first acknowledge that setbacks and hardships are inevitable parts of life's journey. Instead of viewing them as insurmountable obstacles, we can see them as opportunities for growth and learning. One of the most effective ways to cultivate resilience is through the practice of reframing our thoughts and beliefs. Instead of succumbing to negative self-talk or dwelling on past failures, we can choose to focus on the lessons learned and the strength gained from overcoming adversity. By shifting our perspective from victimhood to empowerment, we can develop a sense of resilience that allows us to bounce back stronger than ever before. Another important aspect of nurturing resilience is the cultivation of a strong support network, surrounding ourselves with people who uplift, encourage, and support us can provide the strength and motivation we need to persevere in challenging times. Whether it's friends, families, or mentors, having a reliable support system can make all the difference in our ability to weather life's storms. Harnessing the power of mindfulness and meditation. Mindfulness and meditation are powerful tools for cultivating inner strength and resilience. by bringing our awareness to the present moment and quieting the chatter of the mind, we can find a sense of peace and clarity that allows us to navigate through life's challenges with greater ease. Mindfulness involves paying attention to our thoughts, feelings, and sensations without judgment or attachment. It allows us to observe our experiences with a sense of curiosity and openness, rather than reacting impulsively or getting caught up in negative emotions. Through mindfulness practices such as deep breathing, body scans, and mindful movement, we can cultivate a greater sense of calm and presence that helps us stay grounded in the midst of chaos. Meditation is another powerful tool for cultivating inner strength and resilience. By carving out time each day to sit in silence and stillness, we can quiet the mind, reduce stress, and cultivate a sense of inner peace and clarity. Meditation allows us to tap into our inner wisdom and intuition, helping us gain a deeper insight into ourselves and the world around us. With regular practice, we can develop greater emotional regulation, mental clarity, and overall well-being. Building emotional and mental fortitude. Emotional and mental fortitude are essential qualities for navigating life's ups and downs with grace and resilience. Emotional fortitude involves the ability to acknowledge and regulate our emotions in a healthy and constructive manner. Instead of suppressing or denying our feelings, we can learn to express them in productive ways, such as journaling, talking to a trusted friend, or engaging in creative expression. By developing a greater sense of emotional awareness and regulation, we can build resilience in the face of life's challenges. Similarly, mental fortitude involves cultivating a strong and resilient mindset that allows us to overcome self-doubt, fear, and limiting beliefs. Instead of succumbing to negative thinking patterns or giving in to self-defeating thoughts, we can cultivate a mindset of optimism, perseverance, and self-belief. By challenging ourselves to step outside of our comfort zones, take risks, and embrace uncertainty, we can build mental resilience that allows us to thrive in the face of adversity. In conclusion, cultivating inner strength is essential for becoming a spiritual warrior who fearlessly embraces authenticity and purpose. By nurturing resilience, harnessing the power of mindfulness and meditation, and building emotional and mental fortitude, we can navigate life's challenges with grace, courage, and resilience. With practice and perseverance, we can cultivate a sense of inner strength that empowers us to live authentically and fearlessly in a world that may try to confine us to its limitations. Chapter 6. Honoring Personal Truth. In a world where conformity often takes precedence over individuality, honoring personal truth becomes a radical act of self-empowerment. It requires a deep commitment to authenticity, a willingness to communicate openly, and a dedication to living in alignment with one's core values. Embracing authenticity in communication. Authentic communication is the cornerstone of genuine connection and meaningful relationships. It involves expressing oneself honestly and transparently, without the filters of pretense or societal masks. When we communicate authentically, we honor our inner truth and invite others to do the same. However, authentic communication can be challenging in a society that often values politeness over honesty or encourages the suppression of uncomfortable truths. We may fear judgment or rejection if we speak our minds openly, leading us to censor ourselves or withhold important thoughts and feelings. To embrace authenticity in communication, we must first cultivate self-awareness and self-acceptance. This involves acknowledging our thoughts, emotions, and experiences without judgment and being willing to express them authentically. By doing so, we honor our unique perspective and contribute to genuine, heart-centered connections with others. Setting boundaries to protect personal integrity. Boundaries are essential for safeguarding our emotional, mental, and physical well-being. They define the limits of what is acceptable and unacceptable in our interactions with others and protect us from being taken advantage of or mistreated. Honoring personal truth requires setting and enforcing healthy boundaries that align with our values and needs. Setting boundaries begins with self-awareness and self-respect. We must recognize our own limits, preferences, and values, and communicate them clearly and assertively to others. This may involve saying no to requests or demands that compromise our integrity, asserting our needs in a relationship, or stepping away from a situation that feels toxic or draining. While setting boundaries may initially evoke resistance or discomfort, it's an essential aspect of self-care and self-respect. It allows us to protect our energy and preserve our authenticity in the face of external pressures or expectations. By honoring our boundaries, we demonstrate self-love and cultivate healthier, more fulfilling relationships based on mutual respect and understanding. The importance of living in alignment with one's values. Living in alignment with one's values is fundamental to the sense of purpose, fulfillment, and inner peace. Our values reflect what is most important to us and guide our decisions, actions, and priorities in life. When we honor our values, we experience a deep sense of integrity and authenticity, knowing that we are living in accordance with our true self. Identifying our values requires introspection and reflection on what matters most to us. It may involve examining our beliefs, experiences, and priorities, and discerning the principles that resonate most deeply with our hearts and souls. Once we have clarity on our values, we can make conscious choices that honor and uphold them in every aspect of our lives. Living in alignment with our values requires courage and commitment. It may involve making difficult decisions or stepping outside our comfort zones to remain true to ourselves. However, the rewards of living authentically are profound. A sense of purpose, fulfillment, and inner peace that transcends external circumstances or validation. In conclusion, honoring personal truth is a transformative journey of self-discovery, self-expression, and self-empowerment. It requires embracing authenticity in communication, setting boundaries to protect personal integrity, and living in alignment with one's values. By doing so, we reclaim our power, embody our authenticity, and create deeper connections and meaning in our lives. Chapter 7. Resisting External Judgments. In a world where opinion seems to fly faster than the speed of light, navigating through the barrage of external judgments can feel like maneuvering a minefield. However, as spiritual warriors on a quest for authenticity, it's essential to understand the nature of judgment, detach from the opinions of others, and develop strategies to stay grounded amidst criticism. Understanding the nature of judgment. Judgment is a deeply ingrained aspect of human psychology, stemming from evolutionary instincts for survival. In primitive societies, categorizing individuals as friend or foe was crucial for survival. However, in modern times, judgment has evolved into a complex phenomenon shaped by cultural, social, and personal biases. At its core, judgment arises from the ego's need to assert superiority or maintain a sense of control. When we judge others, we are often projecting our insecurities, fears, and unresolved issues onto them. Moreover, societal norms and expectations fuel the cycle of judgment, reinforcing the idea that conformity is synonymous with acceptance. Detaching from the opinions of others. Detaching from the opinions of others doesn't mean becoming indifferent or apathetic. Rather, it involves cultivating a deep sense of self-awareness and inner confidence. It requires recognizing that external opinions are merely reflections of others' perceptions, influenced by their own experiences, biases, and insecurities. One powerful practice for detaching from external judgments is mindfulness. By observing our thoughts and emotions without attachment or judgment, we can create a greater sense of inner peace and clarity. Meditation, journaling, and self-reflection are valuable tools for cultivating this awareness and strengthening our inner resilience. Another aspect of detaching from external judgments is practicing self-compassion. When we treat ourselves with kindness and understanding, we become less reliant on external validation for our sense of worth. Embracing our imperfections and acknowledging our inherent value as human beings can help shield us from the sting of criticism. Strategies for staying grounded amidst criticism. While detaching from external judgments is essential, it's also crucial to develop strategies for staying grounded amidst criticism. Here are some effective approaches. 1. Reframe criticism as feedback. Instead of viewing criticism as a personal attack, see it as an opportunity for growth and learning. Ask yourself whether there's any validity to the feedback and how you can use it constructively to improve yourself. 2. Focus on what you can control. Recognize that you cannot control others' opinions or behaviors, and instead, focus your energy on cultivating qualities such as integrity, authenticity, and compassion that aligns with your values. 3. Surround yourself with supportive individuals. Build a network of friends, family members, and mentors who accept you for who you are and provide unconditional support. Spending time with people who uplift and inspire you can help counteract the effects of negative criticism. 4. Practice self-care. Engage in activities that nourish your mind, body, and spirit, such as exercise, meditation, creative expression, or spending time in nature. Prioritizing self-care enhances your resilience and strengthens your ability to withstand external pressures. 5. Set boundaries. Establish clear boundaries with individuals who consistently criticize or undermine you. Communicate assertively but compassionately, and be willing to limit your exposure to toxic environments or relationships. Ultimately, resisting external judgments is a lifelong journey that requires patience, perseverance, and self-compassion. By understanding the nature of judgment, detaching from external opinion, and implementing strategies to stay grounded amidst criticism, spiritual warriors can navigate the path to authenticity with courage and grace. Chapter 8: Harnessing the Power of Intuition. Intuition, often described as a gut feeling or inner knowing, is a powerful tool that each of us possess. It's a subtle voice within us that whispers guidance, nudging us into the right direction. In a world where logic and reason often take precedence, learning to harness the power of intuition can be a transformative journey towards greater clarity and alignment with our true selves. Tuning into the wisdom of the inner voice. Our intuition is like a compass guiding us through the complexities of life. It speaks to us through subtle sensations, feelings, and hunches that arise from deep within. However, in our fast-paced and often noisy world, it's easy to drown out the voice of intuition amongst the chaos. Tuning into the wisdom of the inner voice requires cultivating stillness and quieting the mind. This can be achieved through practices such as meditation, mindfulness, or spending time in nature. When we create space for silence, we allow the whispers of intuition to rise to the surface, guiding us with clarity and insight. Cultivating trust in intuitive guidance. Trusting our intuition is essential for harnessing its power effectively. It requires letting go of the need for concrete evidence or validation from external sources, and instead surrendering to the wisdom that arises from within. This can be challenging, especially in a society that often prioritizes rationality over intuition. To cultivate trust in intuitive guidance, it's important to pay attention to the times when we've followed our intuition and experienced positive outcomes. Reflecting on past experiences where our intuition has proven to be accurate reinforces our trust in its guidance. Additionally, practicing self-compassion and self-validation can help quiet the inner critic that doubts our intuitive insights. Making decisions from a place of inner knowing. One of the most powerful ways to harness the power of intuition is by making decisions from a place of inner knowing. When faced with choices or dilemmas, our intuition can provide invaluable guidance that transcends logic and reason. However, this requires cultivating a deep sense of self-awareness and discernment. Before making a decision, it's important to pause and connect with our inner selves. This can be done through practices such as journaling, visualizing, or simply tuning in to the sensations and feelings that arise within the body. By quieting the mind and turning inward, we can access the intuitive wisdom that lies dormant within us. When making decisions from a place of inner knowing, it's essential to trust the subtle signs that nudge, that arise. This may involve stepping outside of our comfort zone or going against the advice of others. However, by honoring our intuition, we align ourselves with our authentic path and invite greater clarity and alignment into our lives. In conclusion, harnessing the power of intuition is a transformative journey that requires cultivating trust in our inner guidance and making decisions from a place of inner knowing. By tuning into the wisdom of the inner voice, we can navigate life's complexities with greater clarity, confidence, and authenticity. Chapter 9. Embracing Unconventional Paths. In a world where conformity is often celebrated and deviation from the norm is met with skepticism, embracing unconventional paths can be a radical act of self-liberation. This chapter delves into the importance of breaking away from social expectations, celebrating the beauty of diversity, and finding profound fulfillment in authenticity. Breaking away from societal expectations. Societal norms and expectations often dictate the trajectory of our lives from an early age. We're conditioned to follow a predetermined path that includes education, career, relationships, and lifestyle choices. However, these societal expectations can sometimes stifle individuality and creativity, leading to a sense of emptiness and disconnection from our true selves. Embracing an unconventional path means challenging these societal expectations and forging our own unique journey. It requires the courage to defy convention and listen to the whispers of our innermost desires and passions. Whether it's choosing a non-traditional career path, questioning cultural norms, or challenging conventional notions of success, breaking away from societal expectations is a powerful act of self-empowerment. By embracing our authenticity and following the path that aligns with our true essence, we reclaim our authority and sovereignty over our lives. We free ourselves from the shackles of conformity and pave the way for a more fulfilling and purpose-driven existence. Embracing the beauty of diversity. The world is a rich tapestry of cultures, perspectives, and experiences. Yet societal conditioning often encourages homogeneity and conformity. Embracing diversity means celebrating the multitude of ways in which people express themselves, live their lives, and perceive the world around them. Diversity enriches our lives by exposing us to new ideas, beliefs, and ways of being. It challenges us to step outside of our comfort zones and expand our understanding of the human experience. When we embrace diversity, we cultivate empathy, compassion, and acceptance for those who are different from us, fostering greater harmony and unity within society. Moreover, diversity fuels innovation and creativity by bringing together individuals with unique perspectives and talents. By honoring diversity in all its forms, we create a more inclusive and equitable world where everyone has the opportunity to thrive and contribute their gifts to the collective tapestry of humanity. Finding fulfillment in authenticity. At the heart of embracing unconventional paths and celebrating diversity lies the quest for authenticity. Authenticity is about living in alignment with our true selves, honoring our values, passions, and innermost desires without compromise or apology. Finding fulfillment in authority requires the courage to be vulnerable and the willingness to embrace imperfection. It means letting go of the need of external validation and trusting in our innate worthiness. When we live authentically, we experience a profound sense of inner peace, joy, and fulfillment that transcends material success or societal approval. Moreover, authenticity inspires others to do the same, creating a ripple effect of empowerment and liberation throughout society. When we lead by example and live our truth unapologetically, we give others permission to do the same, sparking a revolution of authenticity that transforms lives and communities. In conclusion, embracing unconventional paths, celebrating diversity, and finding fulfillment in authenticity are essential components of the spiritual warrior's journey. By breaking away from societal expectations, honoring the beauty of diversity, and living authentically, we reclaim our power, forge our unique path, and contribute to the evolution of consciousness on a global scale. As spiritual warriors, we recognize that true freedom lies in embracing our uniqueness and honoring the inherent dignity and worth every individual, regardless of societal norms or expectations. Chapter 10: Channeling Compassion and Empathy. In a world often consumed by self-interest and individual pursuits, the cultivation of compassion and empathy emerges as a beacon of light, guiding the spiritual warrior towards deeper connection and a more profound understanding of the human experience. In this chapter, we explore the transformative power of compassion and empathy, delving into practices that nurture these qualities within oneself and extend them to others. Cultivating empathy for oneself and others. Empathy, the ability to understand and share the feelings of another, begins with an essential foundation: self-empathy. To truly empathize with others, one must first learn to recognize and acknowledge their own emotions and experiences. The spiritual warrior understands that self-empathy is not synonymous with self-indulgence or self-pity, but rather with self-compassion and self-understanding. The journey towards self-empathy often involves introspection and self-reflection. It requires the willingness to explore one's own emotions with honesty and curiosity, without judgment or criticism. By cultivating self-awareness, the spiritual warrior gains insight into their own inner world, developing a deeper understanding of their fears, desires, and vulnerabilities. Self-empathy also entails treating oneself with kindness and compassion. Instead of harsh self-criticism, the spiritual warrior learns to offer themselves gentleness and understanding, recognizing they are human and imperfect like everyone else. Through practices such as mindfulness meditation and journaling, they nurture a sense of self-acceptance and self-love, laying the groundwork for genuine empathy towards others. Practicing compassion in everyday interactions. Compassion, the desire to alleviate the suffering of others, is a natural outgrowth of empathy. As the spiritual warrior cultivates empathy for themselves, they naturally extend this empathy to those around them, recognizing the shared humanity that unites us all. Practicing compassion in everyday interactions becomes not only a moral imperative, but a source of deep fulfillment and connection. Compassionate action can take many forms, from offering a listening ear to a friend in need, to volunteering in the community, or simply offering a kind word or gesture to a stranger. The spiritual warrior understands that even small acts of kindness have the power to ripple outwards, creating positive change in the world. However, true compassion goes beyond mere acts of charity or generosity. It involves a genuine willingness to see the world through the eyes of others, to empathize with their struggles and challenges, and to offer support and understanding without judgment. It requires the courage to step outside of oneself, to set aside personal biases and prejudices, and to embrace the inherent worth and dignity of every individual. The transformative power of kindness. Kindness, often seen as a simple and commonplace virtue, holds within it a profound and transformative power. The spiritual warrior recognizes that kindness is not merely a nicety, but a potent force for healing and reconciliation in a world torn apart by division and strife. Acts of kindness have the power to uplift spirits, foster connections, and bridge divides. They remind us of our shared humanity and the intrinsic goodness that resides within each of us. Whether it's offering a helping hand to a neighbor in need, expressing gratitude to a loved one, or simply smiling at a stranger on the street, every act of kindness sends ripples of positivity outwards, creating a ripple effect that extends far beyond the immediate moment. Moreover, kindness is contagious. When we witness acts of kindness in others, we are inspired to pay it forward, creating a virtuous cycle of generosity and compassion. In this way, kindness has the power to transform not only the individual lives, but entire communities, fostering a culture of empathy, understanding, and cooperation. In conclusion, cultivating compassion and empathy lies at the heart of the spiritual warrior's journey towards authenticity and fulfillment. By nurturing empathy for oneself and others, practicing compassion in everyday interactions, and embracing the transformative power of kindness, the spiritual warrior contributes to the creation of a more compassionate and interconnected world. As we continue on this journey, may we always remember the profound impact that our actions, no matter how small, can have on the lives of others. Chapter 11. Embracing Imperfection. In a world that often glorifies perfection, embracing imperfection can feel like swimming against a strong current. Yet, it is in the acceptance of imperfection that true freedom and authenticity are found. This chapter delves into the transformative power of letting go of the pursuit of perfection, embracing the beauty of imperfection, and finding liberation in authenticity. Letting go of the pursuit of perfection can be a daunting task, especially in a society that values flawless exteriors and seamless achievements. From a young age, many of us are conditioned to strive for perfection in various aspects of our lives: academics, careers, relationships, appearance, and more. We are bombarded with images of airbrushed models, success stories of seemingly flawless individuals, and societal standards that dictate what constitutes perfection. However, the quest for perfection is often an elusive one, leading to feelings of inadequacy, anxiety, and self-doubt. The truth is, perfection is an illusion. it is an unattainable standard that no human being can ever truly achieve. Perfectionism traps us in a cycle of self-criticism and comparison, preventing us from embracing our true selves and fully experiencing life. By letting go of the need to be perfect, we free ourselves from the shackles of unrealistic expectations and allow room for authenticity to flourish. Embracing the beauty of imperfection is a radical act of self-love and acceptance. Imperfection is what makes us human. It is the cracks in the facade, the rough edges, the quirks that make each of us unique. Rather than seeing imperfections as flaws to be corrected, we can choose to celebrate them as integral parts of our identity. It is through our imperfections that we connect with others on a deeper level, as they serve as reminders of our shared humanity. When we embrace our imperfections, we liberate ourselves from the need to hide behind masks and pretenses, allowing our true selves to shine forth. Finding freedom in authenticity is the ultimate reward of embracing imperfection. Authenticity is about showing up as our genuine selves, unapologetically and unabashedly. It's about owning our strengths and weaknesses, embracing our imperfections, and living in alignment with our beliefs and values. When we embrace authenticity, we no longer feel the need to conform to external expectations or seek validation from others. Instead, we find a deep sense of inner peace and fulfillment, knowing that we are living life on our own terms. Embracing imperfection requires a shift in mindset and a willingness to let go of ingrained beliefs and conditioning. It requires courage to challenge societal norms and embrace the messiness of being human. However, the rewards of embracing imperfection are immeasurable. It is through embracing our imperfection that we find true freedom, authenticity, and joy in life. Practical steps for embracing imperfection. 1. Practice self-compassion. Treat yourself with kindness and understanding, especially when you're making mistakes or falling short of your own expectations. Replace self-criticism with self-compassion, recognizing that imperfection is a natural part of the human experience. 2. Challenge perfectionistic tendencies. Notice when perfectionism rears its head and challenge the unrealistic standards you may be holding yourself to. Remind yourself that perfection is unattainable and that imperfection is what makes you beautifully human. 3. Cultivate gratitude. Shift your focus from what is lacking to what you have to be grateful for. Practice gratitude daily, acknowledging the blessings and joys in your life, even amidst imperfection. 4. Embrace vulnerability. Allow yourself to be vulnerable and authentic, even if it feels uncomfortable. Share your struggles and imperfections with trusted friends or loved ones, knowing that vulnerability is a sign of strength, not weakness. 5. Celebrate mistakes. Instead of fearing failure, see mistakes as opportunities for growth and learning. Celebrate the lessons learned from your failures and use them as stepping stones towards personal development. In conclusion, embracing imperfection is a radical act of self-love and liberation. By letting go of the pursuit of perfection, embracing the beauty of imperfection, and finding freedom in authenticity, we unlock the door to a more fulfilling and authentic life. It is through embracing our imperfections that we truly embrace ourselves and the richness of the human experience. Chapter 12. Navigating relationships with authenticity. In our journey towards spiritual warriorship, navigating relationships with authenticity becomes paramount. Authentic connections are the cornerstone of a fulfilling and enriching life. These connections transcend superficial interactions, delving deep into the essence of who we are and who others are. Here, we explore the dynamics of authentic relationships, the importance of setting healthy boundaries, and the transformative power of embracing vulnerability as strength. Honoring authentic connections. Authentic connections are rooted in honesty, vulnerability, and mutual respect. They require us to show up as our true selves without pretense or masks. When we honor authenticity in our relationships, we create space for genuine intimacy and understanding to flourish. To cultivate authentic connections, we must first be willing to be vulnerable. This means sharing our thoughts, feelings, and experiences openly and honestly with others. It involves listening empathetically and without judgment, allowing others to express themselves authentically. Authentic connections are nurtured through genuine communication. This involves not only sharing our joys and triumphs, but also our struggles and vulnerabilities. When we communicate authentically, we invite others to do the same, fostering deeper bonds of trust and understanding. Setting healthy boundaries in relationships. While authentic connections are essential, it is equally important to set healthy boundaries in relationships. Boundaries define the parameters of acceptable behavior and protect our emotional and physical well-being. Without boundaries, we risk being taken advantage of or becoming enmeshed in unhealthy dynamics. Setting boundaries requires self-awareness and assertiveness. It involves identifying our needs, values, and limits, and communicating them clearly and respectfully to others. Boundaries may include setting limits on how much time we spend with certain individuals, articulating our emotional needs, or expressing discomfort when there are certain behaviors. Healthy boundaries foster respect and mutual understanding in relationships. They allow us to maintain our autonomy and self-respect while also respecting the autonomy of others. By setting boundaries, we create a framework for healthy interactions and protect ourselves from harm. Embracing vulnerability as strength. In a world that often equates vulnerability with weakness, embracing vulnerability takes courage. However, vulnerability is not a sign of weakness, but rather a testament to our authenticity and humanity. It is the willingness to show up fully and authentically, even if it feels uncomfortable or risky. Embracing vulnerability allows us to connect more deeply with others and cultivate intimacy in our relationships. When we allow ourselves to be vulnerable, we invite others to do the same, fostering empathy and understanding. Vulnerability is the bridge that connects us to others on a deeper level, fostering genuine connections and emotional intimacy. Moreover, embracing vulnerability fosters personal growth and resilience. It requires us to confront our fears and insecurities head-on, cultivating inner strength and courage in the process. When we embrace vulnerability, we become more resilient in the face of adversity, knowing that our worthiness is not contingent on external validation. In conclusion, navigating relationships with authenticity is essential for spiritual warriors on the path of self-discovery and empowerment. Honoring authentic connections, setting healthy boundaries, and embracing vulnerability as strength are key components of fostering meaningful and fulfilling relationships. As we cultivate authenticity in our relationships, we create space for genuine connection, mutual respect, and emotional intimacy to flourish, enriching our lives and the lives of those around us. Chapter 13. Finding Purpose in Service. In the depths of our existence lies a profound truth. Our lives gain meaning when we extend ourselves beyond our individual selves and serve others. Service is not merely an action, it's a way of life, a pathway to discovering our purpose and igniting the flames of fulfillment within us. Discovering meaning through service to others. Service to others is a cornerstone of the human experience. It's in extending our helping hand, lending a listening ear, or offering a comforting embrace that we truly connect with the essence of our humanity. When we engage in acts of service, we transcend the barriers of ego and self-interest, tapping into a wellspring of empathy and compassion that lies within us. Moreover, service allows us to recognize the interconnectedness of all beings. In serving others, we acknowledge that we are a part of something greater than ourselves, a collective tapestry of human experiences woven together by threads of kindness, empathy, and love. Through service, we not only alleviate the suffering of others, but also cultivate a sense of belonging and unity that enriches our own lives immeasurably. The ripple effects of acts of kindness. Every act of kindness, no matter how small, has the power to create a ripple effect that reverberates throughout the world. When we extend kindness to others, we set in motion a chain reaction of positivity and transformation that extends far beyond the immediate moment. Consider the simple act of offering a smile to a stranger or lending a helping hand to someone in need. While these actions may seem inconsequential at first glance, they have the power to brighten someone's day, inspire hope, and catalyze a cascade of goodwill that spreads like wildfire. Moreover, the ripple effect of acts of kindness extends beyond the individuals directly involved. When we witness acts of kindness, we are inspired to pay it forward, perpetuating a cycle of generosity and compassion that uplifts entire communities and transforms the fabric of society. Aligning personal passions with collective needs. True fulfillment arises when we align our personal passions and talents with the collective needs of the world around us. Each of us possesses unique gifts and abilities waiting to be unleashed in service to a higher purpose. Whether it's through volunteering, advocacy, or creative expression, we have the power to make a meaningful impact on the world by leveraging our strengths in service of others. Moreover, aligning personal passions with collective needs creates a synergy that amplifies the impacts of our efforts. When we channel our energy into causes that resonate with our deepest values and aspirations, we not only experience a profound sense of fulfillment, but also catalyze positive change on a larger scale. For example, an artist may use their creative talents to raise awareness about social justice issues, while a scientist may dedicate their research to finding solutions to pressing global challenges. By aligning their passions with the greater good, these individuals not only find purpose and meaning in their work, but also contribute to the betterment of humanity as a whole. In essence, finding purpose in service is about recognizing our interconnectedness with all beings, acknowledging the ripple effect of our actions and aligning our personal passions with the collective needs of the world. In doing so, we unleash the full potential of our humanity and become agents of positive change in a world hungry for compassion, empathy, and love. Chapter 14: Embracing Uncertainty. Life is inherently unpredictable. No matter how meticulously we plan or how firmly we cling to our expectations, the reality is we cannot control the ebb and flow of the universe. Uncertainty permeates every aspect of existence, from the smallest daily occurrences to the grandest events that shape our lives. However, rather than viewing uncertainty as a source of anxiety or fear, we can learn to embrace it as an essential aspect of the human experience. In a world that often feels chaotic and turbulent, finding peace amongst uncertainty is a profound act of resilience and self-mastery. It requires a shift in perspective, a willingness to surrender to the inherent unpredictability of life, and trust in the unfolding of our individual and collective journeys. At the heart of embracing uncertainty lies the recognition that control is an illusion. No matter how hard we try to manipulate our circumstances or dictate the outcomes of our endeavors, there will always be forces beyond our control. This realization can be both humbling and liberating. It frees us from the burden of trying to micromanage every aspect of our lives and opens us up to the possibility of surrendering to the flow of life. Finding peace amongst chaos begins with cultivating inner stillness. In the midst of life's storms, it can be easy to become overwhelmed by fear, anxiety, and stress. However, by cultivating practices such as mindfulness, meditation, and deep breathing, we can learn to anchor ourselves to the present moment and find refuge from the tumultuous currents of life. These practices allow us to quiet the noise of our minds, connect with our inner selves, and tap into the sense of peace that transcends external circumstances. Moreover, embracing uncertainty requires cultivating trust in the unfolding of life's journey. Trust is the antidote to fear, the unwavering belief that no matter what challenges or obstacles we may encounter, we have the inner resources and resilience to navigate them with grace and resilience. Trust is not about blindly believing that everything will work out exactly as we hope or expect. Rather, it is about having faith in the inherent wisdom of life and the guiding hand of the universe. In times of uncertainty, it can be helpful to surrender to the flow of life rather than resisting it. Resistance only perpetuates suffering, while surrender opens the door to acceptance, growth, and transformation. When we surrender to the unknown, we allow ourselves to be carried by the currents of life, trusting that whatever unfolds is ultimately for our highest good. Embracing uncertainty also means embracing the unknown possibilities that lie beyond the horizon of our current understanding. It requires a willingness to step into the world of the unfamiliar, to venture into uncharted territory, and to embrace the journey of discovery with curiosity and openness. Instead of viewing uncertainty as a threat, we can choose to see it as an invitation to explore new paths, expand our horizons, and evolve into the fullest expression of ourselves. Ultimately, embracing uncertainty is an act of courage, an act of stepping into the unknown with faith and trust in our own inner guidance and the wisdom of life itself. It's a journey of surrender, resilience, and self-discovery. A journey that invites us to release our attachment to the illusion of control and embrace the inherent unpredictability of life with open hearts and open minds. In doing so, we find peace among chaos, cultivate trust in the unfolding of life's journey, and embrace the beauty and mystery of the unknown. Chapter 15: Embodying Gratitude. Gratitude is a profound state of being that has the power to transform our lives in remarkable ways. It is not merely the act of saying thank you, but a deep recognition and appreciation for the abundance that surrounds us. In this chapter, we will explore the importance of cultivating a gratitude practice, finding joy in the present moment, and shifting our perspective towards abundance. Cultivating a gratitude practice begins with a simple shift in awareness. Instead of focusing on what we lack or what is going wrong in our lives, we intentionally direct our attention to the blessings that are already present. This can be as straightforward as keeping a gratitude journal, where we write down 3 things we are grateful for each day. By consistently acknowledging the good in our lives, we train our mind to notice and appreciate the abundance that exists all around us. Practicing gratitude is not about denying the challenges or hardships we may face. Instead, it's about finding moments of beauty, joy, and connection amidst the difficulties. Even in the darkest times, there is always something to be grateful for. A kind word from a friend, a moment of quiet reflection, or the beauty of nature. By consciously seeking out these moments and acknowledging them with gratitude, we cultivate resilience and inner strength. Finding joy in the present moment is closely intertwined with practicing gratitude. So often, we become consumed by thoughts of the past or worries about the future, missing out on the richness of the present moment. When we learn to slow down and fully engage with the here and now, we open ourselves up to the deeper sense of joy and fulfillment. Whether it's savoring a delicious meal, watching a sunset, or simply taking a few deep breaths, there are countless opportunities for joy available to us in every moment. One powerful way to cultivate present moment awareness is through mindfulness practices such as meditation and mindful breathing. These practices help to quiet the chatter of the mind and bring us into direct contact with the richness of our experience. As we learn to anchor ourselves into the present moment, we discover that true joy arises not from external circumstances, but from our ability to fully embrace life as it is, with all its perfections and uncertainties. Shifting our perspective towards abundance is perhaps the most transformative aspect of embodying gratitude. In a culture that often emphasizes scarcity and competition, it can be easy to get caught up in feelings of lack and limitations. However, when we approach life from a mindset of abundance, we recognize that there is more than enough to go around for everyone. We see abundance not just in material wealth, but also in the richness of our relationships, the beauty of the natural world, and the infinite possibilities that life holds. Shifting our perspective towards abundance requires us to let go of the scarcity mentality that tells us we need to constantly strive for more in order to be happy. Instead, we learn to appreciate and celebrate what we already have, knowing that true abundance comes from within. This shift in mindset allows us to live with greater ease and contentment, knowing that we are already enough and there is always more than enough to go around. In conclusion, embodying gratitude is a powerful practice that has the potential to bring immense joy, fulfillment, and abundance into our lives. By cultivating a gratitude practice, finding joy in the present moment, and shifting our perspective towards abundance, we can transform our experience of life and open ourselves up to greater levels of peace, happiness, and well-being. As we continue on our journey of self-discovery and personal growth, let us remember to pause, breathe, and give thanks for the countless blessings that surround us each and every day. Chapter 16. Integrating Mind, Body, and Spirit. In the quest for spiritual enlightenment and personal growth, it's essential to recognize the interconnectedness of mind, body, and spirit. Nurturing holistic well-being involves not only attending to the physical health, but also cultivating mental clarity and spiritual harmony. In this chapter, we will explore practices for balancing these three aspects of our being and understanding the profound connection between inner and outer harmony. Nurturing holistic well-being. Holistic well-being encompasses the health and harmony of mind, body, and spirit. It involves recognizing that each aspect of our being is interconnected and that neglecting one will affect the others. To nurture holistic well-being, it's crucial to adopt practices that address all dimensions of our existence. Practices for balancing mind, body, and spirit. 1. Mind. Cultivating mental well-being involves practices that promote clarity, focus, and emotional balance. Meditation is a powerful tool for calming the mind and cultivating mindfulness. Through meditation, we can observe thoughts without attachment, allowing us to develop greater self-awareness and inner peace. 2. Body. Physical health is fundamental to overall well-being. Engaging in regular exercise, whether it's yoga, Tai Chi, or simply going for a walk, helps to keep the body strong and flexible. Nourishing the body with wholesome, nutritious food provides the energy and vitality needed to support our spiritual practices. 3. Spirit. Spiritual well-being is about nurturing our connection to something greater than ourselves, whether it's through religious practice, nature, or meditation. Cultivating a sense of gratitude, compassion, and purpose enriches our spiritual lives and brings deeper meaning to our existence. The interconnectedness of inner and outer harmony. Inner harmony refers to the alignment and balance of our thoughts, emotions, and intentions. When we cultivate inner harmony through practices like meditation, self-reflection, and mindfulness, we experience greater peace, clarity, and contentment. Outer harmony, on the other hand, involves our relationships with the external world, the people, environments, and circumstances that surround us. When we are in a state of inner harmony, we are better equipped to navigate external challenges with grace and resilience. Our actions become more aligned with our values, leading to greater harmony in our relationships and communities. The interconnectedness of inner and outer harmony is profound. When we nurture our inner well-being, we radiate positivity and authenticity, which positively influences the world around us. Conversely, when we neglect our inner harmony, we project negativity and discord into our external reality, creating a cycle of disharmony and unrest. By integrating mind, body, and spirit, we cultivate a holistic approach to well-being that honors the interconnectedness of our being. Through practices that nurture our mental, physical, and spiritual health, we create a foundation for inner and outer harmony to thrive. As we align with our true selves and live in accordance with our highest values, we contribute to the collective evolution towards a more conscious and compassionate world. Chapter 17: Embracing the Shadow. In the journey towards self-discovery and spiritual growth, there exists a realm within each of us that is often overlooked, feared, and outright denied: the shadow self. This chapter delves into the importance of embracing this shadow aspect of our psyche, integrating it with compassion, and ultimately finding wholeness through the transformative process of shadow work. Exploring the depths of the psyche. Within the depths of our psyche lies the shadow, the aspect of ourselves that encompasses the parts we deem undesirable, shameful, or unacceptable. These aspects often stem from past experiences, societal conditioning, and unresolved emotions. The shadow lurks in the subconscious, influencing our thoughts, behaviors, and relationships in ways we may not even recognize. Exploring the shadow involves shining a light into the darkest corners of our being, confronting the parts of ourselves we've buried or suppressed. The exploration requires courage and a willingness to delve into uncomfortable territory. It involves acknowledging our fears, insecurities, and vulnerabilities without judgment or condemnation. By embracing the shadow, we gain insight into the underlying motives behind our actions and reactions. We uncover patterns of behavior that have been holding us back and preventing us from living authentically. Through this exploration, we begin to reclaim lost parts of ourselves and unravel the layers of conditioning that have shaped our identities. Integrating the shadow self with compassion. Integrating the shadow is not about eradicating or denying its existence, but rather about acknowledging it with compassion and acceptance. It's about embracing the full spectrum of who we are, the light and the dark, the good and the bad. By acknowledging and accepting our shadow selves, we diminish its power over us and pave the way for healing and transformation. Compassion plays a vital role in the process of integration. It allows us to approach our shadow aspects with kindness and understanding, rather than condemnation or self-criticism. Instead of viewing your shadow as something to be feared or rejected, we recognize it as a natural and integral part of the human experience. Through self-compassion, we create a safe space within ourselves to explore and confront our shadow. We offer ourselves the same empathy and understanding we would extend a friend in need. This compassionate approach enables us to embrace even the darkest aspects of ourselves with love and acceptance. Finding wholeness through shadow work. Shadow work is the intentional and conscious process of exploring, integrating, and transforming our shadow selves. It involves various therapeutic techniques such as journaling, meditation, dream analysis, and inner dialogue. Through these practices, we unearth buried emotions, confront limiting beliefs, and unravel unconscious patterns of behavior. As we engage in shadow work, we begin to reclaim lost parts of ourselves and integrate them into our conscious awareness. We acknowledge and take responsibility of our shadow aspects, recognizing they are not separate from us, but rather integral aspects of our being. In doing so, we break free from the grip of unconscious programming and reclaim our personal power. Ultimately, shadow work leads to a profound sense of wholeness and integration. By embracing our shadow selves with compassion and understanding, we transcend the duality of light and dark, good and bad. We come to see ourselves as multifaceted beings capable of both light and dark. And we learn to navigate life with greater authenticity and self-awareness. In conclusion, embracing the shadow is an essential aspect of the spiritual journey. By exploring the depths of our psyche, integrating our shadow selves with compassion, and engaging in shadow work, we embark on a path of profound transformation and self-discovery. Through this process, we find wholeness, liberation, and a deeper connection with our true selves. Chapter 18: Embracing Change and Transformation. Change is the only constant in life. It's an inevitable force that sweeps through our lives, sometimes gently, and at other times with the force of a tempest. Yet regardless of its form, change is an integral part of the human experience, offering us opportunities for growth, renewal, and transformation. Embracing the inevitability of change requires a shift in perspective. Rather than resisting or fearing change, we must learn to welcome it with open arms. Change is not something to be avoided or suppressed. It's a natural process that propels us forward on our journey of personal evolution. Surrendering to the flow of life is a fundamental aspect of embracing change. It involves relinquishing control and trusting in the wisdom of the universe. Just as a river flows effortlessly towards the sea, so too must we learn to flow with the currents of life, trusting that they will guide us to where we need to be. Surrender does not mean resignation or passivity. Rather, it is an act of faith and surrendering to what is. It's about letting go of our attachment to outcomes and embracing the present moment with openness and acceptance. When we surrender to the flow of life, we allow ourselves to be carried by the currents of change, knowing they will ultimately lead us to our highest good. Finding resilience in times of transition is essential for navigating the ever-changing landscape of life. Transition periods can be challenging and unsettling as we navigate the unknown and venture into uncharted territory. However, it is during these times of transition that we have the opportunity to tap into our inner reservoirs of strength and resilience. Resilience is not about being immune to adversity. It's about our ability to bounce back from challenges and setbacks. It's the capacity to adapt and thrive in the face of adversity, to find strength in vulnerability, and to emerge from difficult times stronger and wiser than before. Cultivating resilience requires self-awareness, self-care, and self-compassion. It is about acknowledging our emotions and experiences without judgment and giving ourselves the grace to heal and grow. It is about building a support network of friends, family, and mentors who can provide us with guidance, encouragement, and support during times of transition. Moreover, resilience is about embracing change as an opportunity for growth and transformation. Instead of seeing change as a threat or an obstacle, we can choose to view it as a catalyst for personal evolution. Every change, no matter how big or small, offers us the opportunity to grow, learn, and expand our horizons. In the midst of change and transition, it's essential to cultivate practices that nourish and sustain us on a physical, emotional, and spiritual level. This may include mindfulness meditation, yoga, journaling, spending time in nature, or engaging in creative expression. These practices help us stay grounded, centered, and connected to our inner wisdom, even amidst the chaos of change. Ultimately, embracing change and transformation is about surrendering to the natural rhythm of life and trusting in the process of growth and evolution. It's about releasing our resistance to change and embracing the unknown with courage and grace, and allowing ourselves to be transformed in the process. As we journey through life's ever-changing landscape, let us remember that change is not something to be feared or avoided, but embraced as an opportunity for growth and renewal. By surrendering to the flow of life and cultivating resilience in times of transition, we can navigate the winds of change with grace and emerge from the storm stronger, wiser, and more aligned with our true selves. Chapter 19: Cultivating Inner Peace. In the hustle and bustle of modern life, amidst the cacophony of demands and distractions, inner peace can seem like a distant dream. Yet within each of us lies the capacity to cultivate a profound sense of tranquility that remains unshaken by external circumstances. In this chapter, we explore the art of cultivating inner peace amongst chaos, offering practical practices for finding stillness within and experiencing the liberating power of inner tranquility. Embracing stillness amidst chaos. In a world characterized by constant noise and activity, the pursuit of inner peace can feel like an uphill battle. However, true peace does not depend on external conditions. It arises from within. The first step in cultivating inner peace is to carve out moments of stillness amongst the chaos of daily life. One powerful practice is mindfulness meditation. By directing our attention to the present moment without judgment, we can cultivate a sense of inner calm that transcends the turmoil of the outside world. Whether through focused breathing, body scans, or mindful movement, the practice of meditation invites us to anchor ourselves in the here and now, releasing attachments to worries about the past or future. Another avenue to explore is the practice of deep breathing exercises. By consciously slowing down our breath and focusing on the sensations of inhalation and exhalation, we can activate the body's relaxation response, calming the nervous system and fostering a state of inner peace. Finding stillness within. In the midst of life's frenetic pace, it can be challenging to find moments of stillness within ourselves. However, beneath the surface turbulence of thoughts and emotion lies a profound reservoir of peace that is always accessible to us. The key is to cultivate practices that allow us to connect with this inner sanctuary. One such practice is journaling. By putting pen to paper and allowing our thoughts and feelings to flow freely, we create space for self-reflection and introspection. Journaling can serve as a tool for untangling the knots of mental chatter and gaining clarity amidst confusion, ultimately leading us back to the stillness at the core of our being. Another avenue to explore is spending time in nature. the natural world has a remarkable ability to evoke a sense of peace and awe within us, reminding us of our interconnectedness with all of life. Whether through a leisurely stroll in the park, a hike in the mountains, or simply sitting beneath a tree, communing with nature can be a powerful antidote to the stress of modern living. The liberation of inner tranquility. As we cultivate inner peace, we begin to experience a profound sense of liberation that transcends the confines of external circumstances. No longer are we at the mercy of the ups and downs of life. Instead, we find ourselves anchored in a place of unshakable serenity that remains untouched by the storms of the world. This inner tranquility empowers us to navigate life's challenges with grace and resilience. Instead of reacting from a place of fear or agitation, we respond from a place of calm and clarity, making decisions that are aligned with our highest values and intentions. In this way, inner peace becomes not just a state of being, but a guiding principle that shapes our entire approach to life. Therefore, the ripple effects of our inner peace extend far beyond ourselves, touching the lives of those around us. Just as a single pebble creates ripples that spread outwards across a pond, so too does the peace within us radiate outwards, creating a more harmonious and compassionate world. In conclusion, cultivating inner peace is not just a luxury reserved for spiritual seekers. It's a fundamental human need in an increasingly chaotic world. By embracing stillness amongst the chaos, finding moments of tranquility within ourselves, and experiencing the liberating power of inner peace, we can reclaim our innate capacity for serenity and resilience. In doing so, we not only transform our own lives, but we also contribute to the collective awakening of humanity. So let us commit to the journey of cultivating inner peace, knowing that it is not only possible, but essential for our well-being and the well-being of the world. Chapter 20. Walking the path of integrity. Living a life of integrity is akin to walking a path illuminating by the guiding light of personal values. It is a journey of inner alignment, where thoughts, words, and actions harmonize with the essence of one's being. In a world often fraught with moral ambiguity and societal pressures, embracing integrity becomes a radical act of self-empowerment and authenticity. Embracing personal values. At the core of walking the path of integrity lies a deep connection to personal values. These values serve as the compass that directs our choices and actions. Whether it's honesty, compassion, justice, or authenticity, each individual possesses a unique set of values that resonate within their soul. Embracing these values requires introspection and self-awareness, as well as the courage to stand firm in one's convictions, even in the face of adversity. Honoring integrity in thought, word, and action. Integrity manifests in the alignment of thoughts, words, and actions. It begins with cultivating mindfulness and awareness of the thoughts that arise within the mind. By observing the inner dialogue without judgment, individuals can discern whether their thoughts are in harmony with their values. This awareness serves as a foundation for cultivating integrity in speech and communication. Honesty, sincerity, and clarity become guiding principles in the way one expresses themselves, fostering authentic connections and building trust in relationships. However, true integrity is not merely confined to words, but extends into action. It is through the consistent embodiment of one's values in behavior that integrity is fully realized. Every decision and action becomes an opportunity to reaffirm one's commitment to living with integrity. Whether it be in the workplace, in personal relationships, or in the community, individuals who walk the path of integrity demonstrate unwavering consistency between their beliefs and their behavior. Finding strength in authenticity. Authenticity is the cornerstone of integrity, for it is in embracing our true selves that we find the strength to live in alignment with our values. Society often imposes expectations and norms that can compel individuals to suppress their authenticity in favor of conformity. However, true strength lies in embracing one's uniqueness and standing boldly in one's truth. Embracing authenticity requires vulnerability and courage. It means shedding the masks of pretense and allowing oneself to be seen and heard as they truly are. In a world that may not always understand or appreciate authenticity, it takes resilience to remain steadfast in one's authenticity. It is in this authenticity that individuals find liberation and empowerment, for it is affirmation of their inherent worth and dignity. In conclusion, walking the path of integrity is not always easy, but it is profoundly rewarding. It is a journey of self-discovery and self-empowerment, where individuals reclaim their agency and sovereignty. By living in alignment with personal values, honoring integrity in thought, word, and action, and finding strength in authenticity, individuals become beacons of light in a world often shrouded by darkness. In choosing integrity, individuals become architects of their own destiny, shaping a reality grounded in truth, compassion, and authenticity. As each person walks their unique path of integrity, they contribute to the collective elevation of consciousness, inspiring others to embark on their own journey of self-discovery and empowerment. In the end, walking the path of integrity is not just a personal choice, but a profound act of service to oneself and to humanity. It is a testament to the power of the human spirit to rise above adversity and to embody the highest ideals of love, wisdom, and integrity. So let us walk this path with courage, with grace, and with unwavering conviction, knowing that in doing so, we honor the essence of our being and illuminate the way for others to follow. Chapter 21. Embracing the warrior within. Within each of us lies a dormant yet powerful force, the warrior spirit. It's not necessarily about physical combat, but rather the resilience, determination, and unwavering courage that resides within. Recognizing and embracing this warrior spirit is essential for navigating the challenges of life with grace and fortitude. Recognizing the warrior spirit within. The first step towards embracing the warrior within is acknowledging its presence. This inner warrior is not separate from us. It's an intrinsic part of who we are. It's the voice that speaks up in moments of adversity, urging us to stand tall and face our challenges head on. It's the fire that burns within, driving us to pursue our dreams and overcome obstacles. To recognize the warrior spirit within, we must first quiet the noise of doubt and fear. We must listen to the whispers of our innermost desires and aspirations. It's in those quiet moments of reflection that we can hear the warrior's call, beckoning us to rise above our limitations and enhance our true potential. Embracing challenges as opportunities for growth. The path of the warrior is not without its obstacles. In fact, challenges are an integral part of the journey. Rather than seeing them as roadblocks, the warrior sees them as opportunities for growth and transformation. Every setback is a chance to learn, evolve, and become stronger. Instead of shying away from challenges, the warrior faces them with an open heart and a fierce determination. They understand that growth lies outside of their comfort zone and are willing to push past their limits to reach new heights. Challenges become stepping stones on the path to greatness, propelling the warrior forward towards their goals. Harnessing the power of resilience and determination. Resilience is the armor of the warrior, shielding them from the blows of adversity. It's the ability to bounce back from setbacks, stronger and more determined than ever. No matter how many times they fall, the warrior always rises again, unwavering in their commitment to their path. Determination fuels the warrior's journey, driving them forward even when the road ahead of them seems daunting. It's the unwavering resolve to keep moving forward, no matter the obstacles that stand in their way. With every setback, the warrior's determination only grows stronger, propelling them forward towards their ultimate goal. But resilience and determination alone are not enough. The true power of the warrior lies in their ability to harness these qualities and channel them towards positive action. They don't simply endure challenges, they conquer them. They transform adversity into opportunity, using it to fuel their growth and evolution. In conclusion, embracing the warrior within is about recognizing our innate strength, resilience, and determination. It's about facing challenges with courage and grace, knowing that they are opportunities for growth and transformation. By harnessing the power of our inner warrior, we can navigate the journey of life with unwavering confidence and conviction. Chapter 22: Connecting with the Divine. In the chaos and noise of modern life, there exists a profound longing for connection with something greater than ourselves, a yearning to transcend the mundane and touch the divine. This chapter explores the journey of connecting with the divine, finding solace and guidance in spiritual practice, and surrendering to a higher purpose. Cultivating a relationship with the divine. In the depths of our being, there exists a spark of divinity, a sacred essence that longs to be recognized and nurtured. Cultivating a relationship with the divine involves acknowledging this inner flame and fostering a sense of intimacy with the sacred. For some, connecting with the divine may involve traditional religious practices such as prayer, meditation, or attending religious services. Others may find communion with the divine in nature, art, or acts of service. Regardless of the path chosen, the essence of connecting with the divine lies in opening the heart to the presence of something greater than oneself. Through prayer, one speaks to the divine, expressing gratitude, seeking guidance, or simply offering love and devotion. Meditation, on the other hand, invites a silent communion with the divine, a stillness of mind that allows for the direct experience of the sacred presence within and without. Finding solace and guidance in spiritual practice. In the midst of life's trials and tribulations, spiritual practice serves as a refuge, a sanctuary where one can find solace, comfort, and guidance. Whether in moments of joy or sorrow, spiritual practices offer a means of connecting with the divine and tapping into a wellspring of inner strength and wisdom. For many, the ritualistic nature of spiritual practices provides a sense of grounding and stability in an ever-changing world. Whether through the recitation of sacred texts, the performance of ceremonial rites, or the chanting of sacred mantras, these practices serve as anchors that tether the soul to the divine. Moreover, spiritual practices offer a pathway to self-discovery and inner transformation. Through introspection and contemplation, one gains insight into the workings of the mind and the nature of reality. In the stillness of meditation or the reverence observance of rituals, one may experience moments of profound clarity and insight, revealing the interconnectedness of all beings and the inherent divinity within. Surrendering to a higher purpose. At the heart of the spiritual journey lies the recognition of a higher purpose, a divine plan that unfolds with grace and wisdom beyond the limited scope of human understanding. Surrendering to this higher purpose entails relinquishing the illusion of control and trusting in the inherent goodness of life. In surrendering to a higher purpose, one acknowledges that there exists a greater intelligence at work, a divine orchestrator guiding the course of one's life with unfailing precision. This recognition brings a profound sense of peace and acceptance, allowing one to release burdens of worry, doubt, and fear. Moreover, surrendering to a higher purpose invites a sense of alignment with the flow of life, an attunement to the rhythm of the universe. In letting go of the ego's desires and attachments, one opens oneself to the infinite possibilities that lie beyond the confines of the egoic mind. Ultimately, surrendering to a higher purpose is an act of faith, an act of trusting in the inherent goodness of life and the benevolence of the divine. In relinquishing the need to control outcomes and embracing the present moment with an open heart, one finds liberation and freedom beyond measure. In conclusion, connecting with the divine is a journey of the soul, an odyssey that transcends the boundaries of time and space. Through the cultivation of a relationship with the divine, the practice of spiritual disciplines, and the surrender to a higher purpose, one discovers the true essence of being, an essence that is eternal, boundless, and infinitely divine. Chapter 23. Embracing Collective Consciousness. In our journey towards becoming spiritual warriors, one of the most profound realizations we can embrace is the recognition of our interconnectedness with all beings. This awareness transcends the boundaries of individuality and extends to the vast web of existence that unites us all. It is through this understanding that we come to appreciate the significance of collective consciousness. Recognizing interconnectedness with all beings. At the heart of collective consciousness lies the fundamental truth that we are not separate entities existing in isolation, but rather integral parts of a unified whole. This realization invites us to transcend the illusion of separateness and acknowledge the inherent interconnectedness that binds us to every living being on this planet and beyond. When we look deeply into the eyes of another being, whether human, animal, or plant, we see reflections of ourselves staring back. We recognize the same spark of divinity, the same essence of life that animates us all. In this recognition, we find a profound sense of kinship and unity that transcends the boundaries of race, species, or ideology. Cultivating compassion for the collective. Embracing collective consciousness naturally leads us to cultivate compassion for the collective, the vast tapestry of life that encompasses all sentient beings. Compassion arises from the understanding that the joys and sorrows, triumphs and struggles of others are intimately connected to our own experiences. It is the recognition of our shared humanity and the acknowledgement of our capacity to alleviate the suffering of others. As spiritual warriors, we strive to extend compassion beyond the confines of our immediate circle and embrace all beings with an open heart. We understand that true compassion knows no bounds and extends unconditionally to every corner of the universe. Through acts of kindness, empathy, and understanding, we sow the seeds of compassion that have the power to transform lives and uplift the collective consciousness of humanity. Contributing to the evolution of collective consciousness. As custodians of collective consciousness, we recognize our role in shaping the evolution of humanity's shared awareness. Each thought we think, each word we speak, and each action we take ripples out into the fabric of collective consciousness, influencing the course of human destiny. By cultivating virtues such as love, compassion, and wisdom, we contribute to the elevation of collective consciousness, nudging humanity towards greater harmony, unity, and understanding. We recognize that every positive thought, every act of kindness, and every moment of mindfulness serves to raise the vibrational frequency of the collective, bringing us closer to our shared vision of a more enlightened world. Moreover, we understand that our interconnectedness extends not only to the present moment, but also to future generations yet unborn. Just as we are beneficiaries of the collective wisdom and compassion of our ancestors, so too are we stewards of the collective consciousness that we will pass on to future generations. It is our responsibility as spiritual warriors to ensure that we leave behind a legacy of love, wisdom, and compassion that will continue to nourish the souls of all beings for generations to come. In conclusion, embracing collective consciousness is an essential aspect of the spiritual warrior's journey. It calls upon us to recognize our interconnectedness with all beings, cultivate compassion for the collective, and contribute to the evolution of humanity's shared awareness. By embracing this profound truth, we awaken to the realization that we are not mere individuals, but integral parts of a vast and interconnected whole. A realization that empowers us to wield our inner light in service of the greater good. Chapter 24, Embracing the Journey. The journey of life is a tapestry woven with threads of joy, sorrow, challenges, and triumphs. It is a journey of self-discovery, growth, and transformation. In this chapter, we delve into the essence of embracing the journey with open arms, celebrating its beauty, expressing gratitude, and honoring its sacredness. Celebrating the beauty of the unfolding path. Life is a magnificent adventure, full of twists and turns, highs and lows, unexpected detours, and breathtaking vistas. Each moment presents an opportunity to embrace the beauty of the unfolding path, to marvel at the intricate tapestry of experiences that shape our lives. Every sunrise brings with it the promise of new beginnings, a fresh canvas upon which we can paint the masterpiece of our existence. Each sunset whispers of the day's journey, reminding us of the lessons learned and the memories made and the growth achieved. In celebrating the beauty of the unfolding path, we learn to find joy in the simplest of moments, a smile exchanged with a stranger, the laughter of children at play, the gentle rustle of leaves in the breeze. We learn to see beauty in the ordinary and magic in the mundane. Embracing the journey with gratitude and humility. Gratitude is the key that unlocks the door to abundance and fulfillment. It is the practice of acknowledging and appreciating the blessings, big and small, that enrich our lives. When we approach life with gratitude, we shift our focus from what is lacking to what is present, from scarcity to abundance. In embracing the journey with gratitude, we cultivate a deep sense of appreciation for the people, experiences, and opportunities that grace our path. We recognize the interconnectedness of all things and acknowledge the countless blessings that surround us each day. Humility is the companion of gratitude, keeping us grounded and humble in the face of life's victories and challenges. It is the recognition that we are but small pieces in the grand puzzle of existence, interconnected with all living beings and the universe itself. By embracing the journey with humility, we relinquish the need for control and surrender to the flow of life. We recognize that every experience, whether pleasant or painful, holds a lesson, an opportunity for growth and self-discovery. Honoring the sacredness of human experience. Life is a sacred gift bestowed upon us by the universe to be cherished, nurtured, and honored. Each breath we take, each beat of our heart, is a testament to the miracle of existence. In honoring the sacredness of the human experience, we recognize the divine spark that resides within each of us, a spark that connects us to something greater than ourselves. Our journey through life is a pilgrimage of the soul, a sacred quest for meaning, purpose, and enlightenment. Along the way, we encounter trials and tribulations, joys and sorrows, moments of profound beauty and deep despair. Yet through it all, we are guided by the light of our inner truth, the compass of our hearts. By honoring the sacredness of the human experience, we acknowledge the inherent dignity and worth of every individual. We treat ourselves and others with kindness, compassion, and respect, recognizing that we are all fellow travelers on this journey called life. In conclusion, embracing the journey is about more than just navigating from point A to point B. It is about embracing the full spectrum of human experience, the joy and the pain, the triumphs and the challenges, with open arms and an open heart. It is about finding beauty in the ordinary, expressing gratitude for the blessings that abound and honoring the sacredness of every moment. As we journey through life, may we walk with grace, humility, and reverence, embracing each step as a sacred gift from the universe. Chapter 25: Embodying Authenticity. In the final chapter of our journey towards becoming spiritual warriors, we arrive at the pinnacle of our quest, embodying authenticity. This chapter serves as a culmination of all the lessons learned, challenges faced, and growth experienced throughout our exploration of self-discovery and empowerment. Embracing authenticity is not merely a destination, but a way of life, a continuous commitment to living in alignment with our true selves despite external pressures and expectations. Authenticity is the foundation upon which the spiritual warrior stands. It is the unwavering commitment to honoring our deepest truths, values, and desires, regardless of societal norms or cultural conditioning. When we embody authenticity, we radiate a sense of integrity and congruence that inspires others to do the same. When we embody authenticity, we radiate a sense of integrity and congruence that inspires others to do the same. Our authenticity becomes a beacon of light in a world often clouded by illusions and falsehoods, inviting others to embrace their own unique paths with courage and conviction. To embody authenticity is to live from the heart, to speak our truth boldly, and to embrace our vulnerabilities as sources of strength rather than weakness. It requires us to shed the layers of masks and pretenses that we have accumulated over a lifetime, revealing the raw, unfiltered essence of who we truly are. In doing so, we liberate ourselves from the shackles of self-doubt and self-censorship, stepping into our power with authenticity and confidence. As spiritual warriors, we recognize the profound impact of our authenticity on the world around us. By living authentically, we empower others to do the same, creating a ripple effect of transformation and liberation. Our authenticity serves as a catalyst for collective awakening, inspiring others to question the status quo, challenge societal norms, and embrace their inner potential. However, embodying authenticity is not without its challenges. It requires courage to confront our fears of judgment, rejection, and criticism. It demands vulnerability to show up fully as ourselves, even when it feels uncomfortable or risky. Yet it is precisely through these challenges that we cultivate resilience, strength, and authenticity. Embracing authenticity also means embracing the journey of the spiritual warrior with courage and grace. It is an ongoing process of growth and self-discovery, marked by moments of triumph and moments of struggle. As spiritual warriors, we understand that authenticity is not a destination to be reached, but a path to be walked with humility and reverence. In embodying authenticity, we learn to embrace all aspects of ourselves, the light and the shadow, the strengths and the vulnerabilities. We recognize that authenticity is not about perfection, but about embracing our humility in its entirety. It is about accepting ourselves as we are, flaws and all, and loving ourselves unconditionally. To empower others to embrace their true selves, we must lead by example. We must show up authentically in our relationships, our work, and our communities, inspiring others to do the same. We must create spaces of acceptance and inclusivity where everyone feels seen, heard, and valued for who they are. As we conclude our journey of becoming spiritual warriors, let us remember that authenticity is not a destination, but a way of being. It is the thread that weaves through every aspect of our lives, guiding us towards greater self-awareness, connection, and fulfillment. Let us embrace authenticity with courage and grace, knowing that in doing so, we not only transform ourselves, but also the world around us. Conclusion. The journey of the spiritual warrior is not merely a solitary quest for personal enlightenment. It is a transformative odyssey that reverberates throughout the collective consciousness, inspiring change and awakening in others. As we reflect on the path we have traversed, we recognize the profound shifts that have occurred within us, propelling us towards a deeper understanding of ourselves and the world around us. Throughout this journey, we have embraced the power of authenticity as our guiding light. We have dared to peel away the layers of societal conditioning, revealing the radiant essence of our true selves beneath. In doing so, we have reclaimed our sovereignty, liberating ourselves from the shackles of conformity and fear. We have learned to walk boldly in the world, unapologetically owning our truth and standing firm in our convictions. Yet our journey does not end here. It extends far beyond the confines of our individual experience. For authenticity is not merely a personal pursuit, it is a catalyst for collective transformation. As we embody our truth and radiate authenticity, we inspire others to do the same. We become beacons of light amidst the darkness, illuminating the path of those who are still searching for their own truth. In embracing the power of authenticity, we become agents of change in a world that's yearning for transformation. We challenge the status quo and disrupt the narratives that perpetuate suffering and division. We cultivate compassion and empathy, recognizing the inherent worth and dignity of every being. We stand in solidarity with the marginalized and oppressed, amplifying their voices and advocating for justice. As spiritual warriors, we understand that our journey of self-discovery is never truly complete. It is an ongoing process of growth and evolution, marked by moments of triumph and moments of struggle. Yet we embrace each step of the journey with courage and humility, knowing that every challenge is an opportunity for learning and expansion. So, dear reader, as you reach the conclusion of this book, I invite you to continue your journey of self-discovery and empowerment. Embrace the power of authenticity in all aspects of your life, and let it guide you to a more conscious and compassionate existence. Dare to challenge the narratives that no longer serve you, and forge your own path with courage and conviction. Know that you are not alone on this journey. You are a part of a global community of spiritual warriors who are committed to creating a better world. Together, let us continue to shine our light brightly, illuminating the darkness and paving the way for a future filled with love, understanding, and unity. May you walk your path with grace and integrity, and may you always remember the infinite power that lies within you. For you are a spiritual warrior, and the world is waiting for your light to shine.